Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today we are diving into the world of Azure security with a powerful tool, Azure Bastion. This service lets you secure connection to your Azure VMs without assigning them a public IP address or even a VPN or a client software. So essentially it boosts your security posture. So whether you are seasoned Azure Pro or just getting started, buckle up and we will guide you through the creation of your own Azure Bastion. So what is Azure Bastion? Azure Bastion is a fully managed service that runs in your own virtual network and provides a secure and convenient way to access your VM via the Azure portal. This essentially secures and also it eliminates the need to expose your VM directly to the internet. That means it reduces the risk of an attack. Here are some of the key features of Azure Bastion. Secure RDP/SSH access. You can connect to your VM using remote desktop protocol RDP or secure shell protocol SSH directly within your portal or through your local RDP and SSH client. No public IP address exposure. Bastion acts as a secure gateway, eliminating the need for public IP addresses on your VMs, thereby reducing the attack surface. It also simplifies management. Bastion is a powerful management service, so you don't need to worry about deploying, configuring, or maintaining jump servers. Bastion also enhances control. You can configure access control lists, ACL, to resist access to specific VMs and uses. It also provides additional features. So Bastion offers advanced features like session recording, diagnostic logs, and IP-based connection for even more granular control and security. Here are some of the common use cases of Azure Bastion. Securing access to sensitive VMs. If you have VMs containing critical data, using Azure Bastion can significantly reduce the risk of unauthorized access. It also provides simplified remote access management. Bastion eliminates the need to manage jump servers, saves you time and resources. Bastion also complies with security regulations. So many security regulations require you to minimize public IP exposure. So Bastion can help you achieve this compliance. Alright, so now let's quickly jump on to the Azure portal. So go to portal.azure.com. And once you have the portal showing up on your screen, we're going to set up a virtual machine. So once we set up a virtual machine, we will set it up to be in a virtual network. So this will help us to then set up a Bastion subnet, which will then be access for us when we want to get to our private network. So to get started, let's simply go to virtual machine and let's create a new one. So I'm just going to create a virtual machine. So you select your subscription and then select your resource group. But I'm going to create a brand new resource group, which I'll name this one as test client RG. And I'll click on OK. I'll give this virtual machine a name as VM1. And I'll place it at region US East. I'll leave the settings as it is. I'm not going to tamper with the availability zone. And I'm going to deploy a Ubuntu server, so I'll keep it as it is. And when it comes to authentication, I'm just going to use a password just to simplify the whole thing. So in here, I'm just going to define a username. So I'm just going to make it AZUser. And I'll set a password. All right, so it matches. For the public outbound post, I'll leave it at port 22, but I'm not going to give it any access to the public internet. So I'll click on the disk. I'm just going to make any changes here. Go to network. So this is where I will ensure that there is no public access to this virtual machine. So in that case, no one can access this virtual machine from outside except through the Bastion that we will create later on. So I'll set this one to none. For the networking, I'll leave it as that. And from here, I can proceed to review and create. So once validation is completed, I can go ahead and create our virtual machine. All right, so the virtual machine has been deployed successfully. So let's go straight to the resource. So this is the virtual machine we just created. And as you can see, there is no public access. So that means I cannot access this virtual machine using a public IP address. It only has a private IP, which is right here. So for us to access this, we're going to use the Bastion. So it's quite simple. So once you are in the virtual machine resource, in the settings area, just scroll down to the network bit. So once you scroll down, you see the networking, click on that one. And what we're going to do is we're going to access the network that this virtual machine belongs to. So as you can see, this is the virtual network that it belongs to, and the subnet is default. So I can simply click on that, and that will take it straight to the virtual network. So now in the virtual network area, when we check the subnet, you notice that it only has one subnet, which is the subnet the virtual machine is part of, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to create an additional subnet. So we can either create it directly from here to create the subnet for us, our Bastion, but we can do it in a much more simpler way, because Azure now includes another blade, which is Bastion, dedicated to Bastion. So we can deploy our Bastion straight from here, and it will automatically deploy the subnet and also define the Bastion service as well. So I'm just going to click on this option here, and then I'm going to deploy a Bastion in this specific virtual network. Right, so to do that, I simply click on deploy Bastion, and this will go ahead and deploy all the resources that are required for the Bastion. All right, so the Bastion have been created successfully, and this took probably about 20 minutes to complete. So if you are deploying this, just give it a bit of time for it to succeed. So as you can clearly see at the very top here, provision was successful. So once the solution is successful, we can easily jump onto any VM that is within this subnet, right? So to do that, once you click on it, you will see the resource group, and then it will tell you any available subnet that is within that specific subnet. So to jump onto the virtual machine that we created, we can easily select it from here, and all we have to do is put in the username and then the password. So to do that, I'm just going to type in the username and the password, and then we can carry on and click on connect. And this will open up in a new browser, but as you can see here, I've got a pop-up blocking the browser from opening. So I'll click on connect again, and I'm just going to make sure that I don't block it. So I'm just going to say always allow it through. Click on connect, open up a new browser. But another thing you have to bear in mind as well is that make sure your browser have HTML5. So if you have another issues connecting to it by the right browser, check to make sure that your browser is one of the newer browsers that contain the HTML5 component. All right, so as you can see, now I have successfully connected to my VM and I can browse the internet with no problem. So I can access the VM. It does have a public access. I think I have not defined that, but the main important aspect is this, that we have connectivity to our VM. And you can also check their IP address as well. So if I type in ifconfig, all right, that's not installed, but you get a point here. We do have access to our VM1. And if you go back to the Azure portal and just have a look around, one of the components is that in terms of the Azure Bastion, it will create a brand new subnet. So we have in this subnet, the Bastion subnet, which will allow us to connect to this subnet right here. And also with your sessions, you should be able to track your sessions as well in the Bastion. So once you have this connection going on, you will be able to probably go into the Bastion service. So let's go into Bastion and you will see the Bastion service that you've created here. You can click on it, and then when you scroll down, it will load up the access here. So as you can see, it shows that there's a session going on, and then it will tell you the service that you're connected to and the related protocol as well. So that indicates that you're successful in setting up this Bastion and you have successfully connected to it. So I hope this video helped you out. If it did help you out, please subscribe to the channel and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.